Discover a place where a woman can have 4 husbands. Located at the northernmost part of the planet, Greenland stands out for its vast glaciers. With an enormous area of 2,166,000 kilometers, most of this territory is inhospitable, with over 80% covered by ice, where the extreme cold feels like it could freeze your blood. This impressive island is an autonomous region, but still part of the Kingdom of Denmark, carrying a strong influence of Danish culture. Nuuk, its capital and largest city, has about 20,000 residents, while Greenland's total population hovers around 60,000, constantly facing survival challenges. Curiosity arises when you wonder, how did these people end up here, with no apparent land connection to this icy territory? Around 200 years ago, Norwegian and Icelandic navigators braved the seas towards Greenland, a land unknown to Europeans at the time, despite its harsh climate. Drawn by the promise of a new refuge and commercial opportunities, Norwegians and Danes began bringing people to Greenland. Back then, the local population was already around 2,000, with trade colonies being established to boost commerce and agriculture. However, expectations fell short. Beyond the extreme cold, the dry and infertile soil prevented the animals brought by the Vikings from surviving and plants and fruit trees from growing. Despite the persistent efforts of the farmers, the lack of resources forced the Scandinavians to abandon Greenland, leaving only a few for trading activities. Thus, unfolds the fascinating history of Greenland, a saga of challenges and resilience in the face of relentless nature. Life in Greenland dates back to the ancient times of the Inuits, a people of Mongolian origin who, during the Ice Age, dared to cross the frozen lands on foot and settle there. Unlike the Scandinavians, it was the Inuits who first set foot on this land many centuries ago, even before the name Greenland existed. Back then, when greenery still prevailed, a land bridge allowed the Inuits to call this place home. This community, firmly rooted in Greenland for centuries, descends directly from the Inuits, who arrived to explore the resources during the milder summers. The name Greenland, meaning Greenland, was given later to honor its lush vegetation. Today, Greenland's sparse population is mostly made up of descendants of the Inuits, who came to trade during the milder seasons, as well as Scandinavians, who, driven by commercial interests, helped name the land Greenland. In the 20th century, the European Union offered benefits to Greenlandic society, but in 1981, through a referendum, Greenland chose to leave the Union. The main reason was the restrictions imposed on fishing, which is the country's primary source of livelihood and export, as well as interference with its uranium and iron resources, of which Greenland holds 35% of the world's reserves. The decision to leave the European Union was a step towards the autonomy needed to preserve their way of life. Today, although Greenland still maintains ties with Denmark, it makes most of its decisions independently. Greenland's dependence and challenges. Greenland relies heavily on financial support from Denmark, which invests nearly $1 billion annually to sustain life on the island. Although Greenland is officially part of Danish territory, it draws interest from powers like China, Russia, and the United States due to its mineral wealth and vast fish reserves. This Arctic territory holds significant strategic importance on the global stage. Recently, former U.S. President Donald Trump expressed interest in buying Greenland, sparking outrage among local residents and politicians. The proposal was met with disbelief and scorn, considered by many to be a joke or a delusion. The island is highly coveted for its uranium, iron, and fish reserves, making it a target of international interest. Currently, if a Greenlander needs education or healthcare in Denmark, the Danish government covers these costs. Land ownership is a government prerogative, which grants permits in exchange for taxes, but does not allow direct land purchases. Despite financial dependence, Greenland maintains its uniqueness and autonomy, with a rich history and a significant role in the global geopolitical arena. The capital, Nuuk, features vibrant architecture, with colorful houses supported by the government, sold for about $350,000. However, life in Greenland is not for the faint of heart. Those who venture into this territory find stunning landscapes, pure air, and a population that, despite adversities, constantly smiles. The island is home to polar bears, seals, and whales, and the community lives in harmony without hostility. The Inuits and Scandinavians share sovereignty over these lands, creating a unique union. Politics do not dominate daily life, and nature is respected, not feared. However, Greenland faces severe challenges, such as the melting glaciers, which could have global implications due to rising sea levels. The quality of life in Nuuk is limited, with deficiencies in healthcare and transportation systems. The island, isolated from the rest of the world, sometimes feels like a lunar settlement, making life a unique and challenging experience, especially in accessing essential services outside the country. Greenland's small population also faces difficulties in marriage, with limited opportunities to find partners. Often, people turn to local administrators for help in finding a companion. The pressure to remarry after losing a spouse is high due to the constant concern over population decline. Some families adopt polygamous arrangements, with a woman having up to 3 or 4 husbands, to ensure reproduction and survival amidst existential challenges. Life in Greenland is marked by resilience in the face of natural and social adversities. The limited infrastructure is a constant challenge, but the beauty and purity of the place continue to captivate those who venture into its icy landscapes. Challenges and resilience in Greenland. In the most isolated regions of Greenland, waste disposal sites are set up to collect all human waste. While it's unlikely the country will turn into a landfill overnight, the gradual accumulation of waste poses a significant threat over time. Additionally, internet connectivity is a major issue. Only the capital, Nuuk, has access, and it comes at a steep price of 1,300 Danish kroner, about 190 USD, with a rather slow connection speed. When it comes to transportation, Greenland notably lacks motorcycles and cars, especially in rural areas. During the harsh winter months, when temperatures can drop to 58 degrees Celsius, sleds pulled by huskies, Siberian wolves, become the primary means of transportation, as motor vehicles don't work effectively. These dogs are crucial, not just for transportation, but also for hunting, and they are fed raw meat to keep them aggressive and loyal only to their owners. The relationship between the inhabitants and the huskies is more of a survival partnership than one of affection, forming a tacit agreement to face the island's unique challenges together. In a country where fruit and vegetable production is almost non-existent, people rely heavily on hunting for their sustenance. Inhabitants venture out to sea in their boats, armed with rifles, hunting seals and polar bears. They utilize the animals' skins and meat for food, and to make clothing that protects them from the intense cold. Those without boats fish in frozen rivers, drilling through the ice with spears and using improvised nets to catch fish. Fishing and hunting require great physical strength and skill, and bringing back food from the sea is celebrated. Seal meat is common in households, and exotic dishes like polar bear head can be found in some restaurants. Wedding gifts don't involve gold or money, but rather the head of a polar bear, a symbol of bravery and hunting skill, valued more than any other gift. Whale meat is also a staple in their diet, highlighting the diversity of the local cuisine. Life in Greenland is unique, marked by Danish influence on the traditions and customs of Scandinavian families. Despite the vast territory, the population is small, with only 6 settlements outside the capital. In some of these small communities with around 300 residents, services are limited to a grocery store and a church. This means those with chronic illnesses face significant challenges to survive. Without hospitals or entertainment centers, people live isolated in desolate lands, surrounded by a vast frozen sea. During winter, Greenland experiences almost complete darkness, with the sun absent for long periods, and relentless snowstorms pose a danger to anyone venturing outside. Given such a challenging environment, it's natural to wonder how long someone could endure this unique way of life. Greenland offers a one-of-a-kind experience where understanding nature and constant vigilance are essential for survival. Did you know about this reality of Greenland? Leave your comment and don't forget to check out our videos.